Hello, Dwight Cliff Jr. here with Cliff and Cliff. I'm back again with another video, and today I'm going to show you how to get your contractor's license, more specific, your general contractor's license. Each trade is different, like your HVAC, plumbing, wrecking, electrical. All those licenses require some special training and do require tests and a certain amount of education, I should say, or apprenticeship. That's in the state of Indiana. I'm not sure about every other state, but as a general contractor in the state of Indiana, you do not need to take a test, but you do need about 6 or 7 documents or pieces of information, I should say. And then I know also some states do require you to take a test as a general contractor if you're doing roofing or anything of that nature. But the first thing, if you're looking to start a contracting business and need your general contractor's license, you need to pay some fees. I'm not sure about every state, but generally it's going to be somewhere in that $200, $300 range. I can't speak for every state in Indiana. I think it's like $247. Then item number 2, you will need your business registration. If, like, from video number 1, the first video we've done, you'll need your registration filing, your articles of incorporation. So everything that you got from the Secretary of State when you paid your fee, they'll send you a couple documents, the articles of incorporation, and the business entity report. And so I just kind of bring both of those with me, and I'll give those to the, I have that as a packet when I go down to get our refile for our license or renew our license. But generally speaking, when you're starting up, you'll need the business registration information, saying that you registered with your state business registration. Number 3, you'll need insurance. You're going to need some insurance. Well, actually, let's take that back. You'll have to fill out the application. There's an application process, kind of giving some basic information, which is just contact information, basically. So you'll need your application filled out. Number 4, they don't ask anything too crazy like work experience or nothing like that. Well, in Indiana, they don't. I know if you're filing for something more detailed like a plumbing, electrical, HVAC, they're going to want experience and hours worked and all that craziness. 4, now you need your general liability insurance. GL, general liability insurance. I'll just write that for short. GLI, general liability insurance. You can find that from most insurance carriers. I can't speak as far as cost, because depending on what type of work you're doing, you'll need a general liability insurance that fits that type of work. And so talk to your local insurance agent about that. I don't have any recommendations for that right now. Number 5, you'll also need workers' comp. So if you're hiring employees, you're going to need workers' comp. And workers' comp, if you're not familiar with workers' comp, workers' comp is pretty much a way, if an employee gets hurt on the job, allows them to still have income while recovering from their injury until they can return back to the job site and be a productive member of the crew, the family, their family, and all these other different things. And so, but also, here's a way to get out of this workers' comp. If you're the only person in your business, or if you have 2 members in a, like me and my dad, when we first started the business, we were the only 2 people in the business. When Dwight Sr. and I started the business, we didn't have workers' comp because we didn't need it. If we got hurt, we were just going to keep working, I guess. But we went down and filed what they call a workers' comp exemption. But you can't do this if you have employees. You got to have workers' comp if you have employees. If you got subcontractors, they'll have to have their own insurance, and so they won't. If you got a subcontractor, that's a whole other story. You got a subcontractor working like a plumber, he'll need workers' comp and he'll need liability, and you'll need a copy of that. But that's a whole other story. So if you're just a member, or you got 2 members that are part of the business that are owners, you'll need to go down and file workers' comp exemption. And what I would do, if you don't know how to find this, I would go to Google, type in workers' comp exemption, then your state, get copies of that, and then when you go file for your insurance, bring those copies with you, those certificates with you, that you received from your workers' comp exemption, because you'll need that in order to get your general contractor's license. Mouthful. On to number 6. You'll need a surety bond. I don't know if you can see that, but you'll need a surety bond. A bond is simply a way to like, let's say you're on a job with the homeowner, a surety bond. The surety bond and the insurance like also need to be made out additionally assured to whatever city or state you're working for. And if you're doing commercial work or doing work for an entity, they'll most likely want to require, they'll most likely want a copy of your GLI, your general liability insurance. It's just a quick note, but because I brought up the surety bond. But with the surety bond, it's a remedy for a homeowner to, if you fail to perform on a job and you run off on a job, if you run off on a job, job's $5,000 on the low end, and like you fail to perform the job, but you've taken down payments and money and you just rent off. What a surety bond does is allows the homeowner to go down to the permitting office or the licensing office and say, hey, contractor fly by night took all my money, the job was $5,000. They go to the city and say, all right, well, they got a surety bond for such and such, and they'll end up, I don't know what kind of legal processes it is to get to this, but they'll ask you, they'll pull your bond to pay for that amount, as long as it's all in the contract and everything's right. And then the surety bond will, in turn, they'll come after you, is what I've heard. And so, and then number 7, I'll say, if you're working in a state that requires it, you have to pass a test. Pass a test for the trades that you are working for. Pass test. And so, those are the 7 pieces of information that you'll need to get your contractor's license. Pay the fees, get your business registration, your application, your general liability insurance, your workers' comp, surety bond, and then if required, pass that test. You got all those things in order, you'll get your contractor's license. But let me also say this disclaimer: just because you have all these things doesn't mean you're a general contractor. There's so much more that goes into it outside of these documents, but we'll get into that. Hey, thank you for watching. If you want to learn more about any of these specific topics, I'm more than happy to go into it. Yeah, Dwight Cliff here with Cliff and Cliff. Thank you for watching.